Do you think you need to write complex Apex code just to call an external API? You don't. Today I am going to show you how to use Salesforce External Services to connect API directly to Flow without writing a single line of code. In this video, I will explain you what external services are, their advantages, disadvantages, how to set up an external services, and we will also see a live demo connecting two Salesforce org together using external services. Here I am using Salesforce org because I don't have any external system. If you have any external system, you can use that. Let's get started. Before moving into demo, if you like my video and want me to create more videos on interesting topics like this, please like and subscribe. That will encourage me to create more videos. Thank you. So let's get started. So here I have one Salesforce org. This is my external system and it's a trial org. I will also leave an indication when I am switching to org 1 and org 2. This is org A, which we will consider as external system, and this is org B, which is where we are going to configure our external services. So first configuration, what we need to do is in the system A, which is the org A. Let me open setup, go to app manager, click on new external client app. Earlier there was connected app, but now we are calling it external client app, which you can package also in your second generation or manage packages as well. So I will enter all the details which are required. I've entered the basic information. Now we switch to API section, and in this we need to enable auth. We need to enter callback URL here. Callback URL we need to modify again from based on the system, but as of now I'm going to just put something dummy, and we have to select the auth scope. Here we are going to select only limited auth scope such as managed data via API. So we have selected our auth scope. We are not going to select any other auth scope. Rest of the flow enablement, since we are going to use a web server flow, so leave this as a blank. If you are using a JWT flow, then you can check this checkbox. Any other kind of flow, you can check this checkbox. Here, require secret for web server flow. Keep it enabled, keep all this enabled, which are default checked, and then you can create the connected app. Once the app is created, you can go to settings and you can verify all the details which you have created. Once all the details are verified, go to this consumer key and secret option. Click on this and get your consumer key and the secret and copy it into a notepad. We are going to use this consumer key and secret in our next part. I'm going to verify this and copy the code myself. So these are my consumer key and consumer secret. I'm going to copy that to a notepad. Okay, once my consumer key and the secret are copied, I'm going to show you the Apex class which I've created. Don't worry about too much about this external client application because we are assuming it's an external system. It will not be Salesforce. So you can leave certain detail as default. So here in the developer console, I have created two Apex classes. First class is account service, which has a get method, which gives you account details by parameters. So we are going to pass certain parameters like country, industry, and the limit of records which you are going to get. So this is a simple query, and we are querying the account and we are returning the account based on the wrapper class or DTO class which we have created. So it's a simple get API. We also have post API, which is called lead service. In this, we are going to create a lead. We are going to pass a wrapper class, lead DTO, something like this, and it will map to the lead object in Salesforce. Once the lead is inserted, we are going to return back the output with success and lead ID. We are not checking any other scenario. This is just for demo purposes. Simple API call. That's it. Now let's look at the last component we need from the external system, which is our OpenAPI specification. So based on the Apex classes, I have created OpenAPI specification, which you can see on the screen. I'm using Swagger editor where I have created this specification. Let me explain this a bit. If you see here, this is my base URL, which is my Salesforce org domain, and services Apex REST because this is the REST class. We are going to use HTTPS. The first API is the get API, get account API. In this, if you see, there are three query parameters. I've tried my best to put some details so that you understand what are this and what are the details you can add in an OpenAPI specification to provide more and more information to the consumer. So for example, here default value is 5, max records to return 1 to 5. These are just sample value. Success response, so the 200 response will return a JSON string, something like this. I've not added error response. You can also add error responses like 401, 402, 500, whatever the JSON or the output you will get. So this is about the get API. We also have the post API, which is creation of lead. If you see here, this is a sample body with an example, and on the success 200 we'll get a status and ID. So apart from these two API endpoints, we have also models. Models is something which we have used here, for example here for the success response of account API and the create lead model. You see here, if you click here, you will see the lead DTO model. Similarly, if you click on the account response, you will see account DTO model. So when you go to this models, you will see certain details. For example, first name parameters, what is the max length is 80, example Tony. You can also add more details. For example, here it is a email type with an example of email. and so on. So this is how you create your OpenAPI specification. You leave all the details as much as possible so that in the consuming system, we don't have to assume certain things. Now we have moved to the org B, which is our consuming system. And here we are going to set up first name credential and external credential. For that, let's go to setup. We'll create name credentials. So once we are on the name credential setup page, go to external org provider, click new, and here we are going to see enter details. Now fill the basic details here, external service demo auth provider. So this is our auth provider. We are going to use auth 2.0 protocol, and here I have entered the client ID and client secret, which we have copied from our external service provider from our external system, which is org A. And here I am using the authorize endpoint. If you see here, since this is Salesforce, this URL will look familiar to you, but external system will have a different URL. So make sure you copy those URL. And similarly, there is a token endpoint URL. And after filling all this information, let us save this. So now this is our external service demo auth provider. If you see, this is a callback URL which is generated by Salesforce. We are going to copy that and update our connected app in the external system. So here I'm going to edit this and I'm going to put this callback URL. Otherwise the API call will fail. So this is updated. Let's move back. So now that we have provided external auth provider, let's create external credential. So in the new external credential, we will enter some basic information, label and name. We'll select the authentication protocol as auth 2.0. We'll leave the flow type as default. And in the identity provider, we will select the external identity provider and we'll select the new auth provider, which we have just created, external service demo auth provider, and we'll save this. Once it is saved, now it's time for us to create name credential. We'll go back to name credential again, create new name credential. We'll enter the details here. So I've entered the basic details for name credential. The URL, make sure it is your domain URL for the Salesforce org. External credential, here I've selected the external credential, which we have just created. Leave the rest of the things as it is. Enable for callout and on. Click on save. The name credential is saved. Go back to the external credentials. And here we have to add the principal. So we'll click on new principal. Here, name principal basically means for one authentication, all the user will be able to use this credential. Per user principal means each user has to authenticate separately for this connection. So as of now, we are going to use name principal. We added our principal, and if you see here, the authentication status is not configured. So basically, name credential has to be authorized before we can start using it. So here in the actions, you will see a authenticate button. Click on that. It will open the login page of your org. Okay, here the login page should appear, but we are getting some error. So let's see what is the error. It says in the URL missing required code challenge. Okay, so what I understand from this error, it is related to PKIC. So this is something I have covered in one of my video, which is Salesforce Auth Flows. If you want to check out details about what is PKIC, check out from the link above. And to fix this error, what we have done is, let's go to the connected app. In the connected app, we see here required proof key of code exchange, PKCE, sorry for the wrong name. So it is PKCE. Here we have selected the auth connection should follow the PKEC, but let's see what is the configuration we have done from our side. So we had to go to auth provider, and if you see here, we have not checked this checkbox where we use PKCE for our authentication. So we'll do that. Let's edit this auth provider and save. So once that is saved, let's go to the external credential again and now try to authorize. If you see here, our org is open. Let me enter the credentials. So once I entered my credential, it is asking me to allow access to this app. So if you see here, the app name external service demo, which is the connected app name, we'll click on allow and confirm external access. Confirm. So now in your external credential, you will see authentication status is configured. So now this name credential is ready to use. So now the name credential setup has been done. So one thing we need to do here, we need to create a permission set or assign the permission of this external client access to our user. So what we can do is either you can modify the profile. File is not available anymore. So let's use permission set. We'll create a permission set. So if you see here, there is an option of external credential principal access. We'll provide that access to our permission set. And these are our external credential access. So we have created this one, external service demo. We'll add this and save, and now assign the permission set to our user, which is the system admin. Now the access thing is also taken care. Let's go to external services. Go to setup and search for external services. Click on new or add external services. So here it is asking for us to create a select an API source. So this is API specification. Click on new. Here we have selected the name credential. We have given some name. You can also add description. In the schema option, if your OpenAPI specification are available on a URL, you can provide that URL. If it is not, I have downloaded my schema and the file is uploading. So you will see here schema validation completed successfully, means Salesforce has accepted the schema, and this is our YAML file. We'll click on save and next. So we have two operations. We can select both of them. Now you have your external services. So for example, for get account API, this is the input parameter and this is the output. The output will come into this. So this is something you need to remember, because in the flow you can search it if you remember the name easily. Same thing with the lead API. So you have here the body, which will create an Apex class internally, and then you have the output parameter, which is this is the output parameter. And now we click on finish. So now we need to create a flow to test our APIs or the external services. We are going to create a screen flow to see all the input and output from the screen. So let's start. So first of all, we will call the get account API. For that, we need to pass the input parameters. Let's create a screen. So here I have created a screen with 3 input values, which is one is country, industry, and limit for our get account API. Now click on done. Now let's call our API. So for that, we need to have an action. In that action, we select external services. If you see here, MLD demo external services. So this is the external service we are going to select, and we are going to select get account API. So we'll enter some details here. So I have filled all the necessary details here, and in the input values, I have assign the input values coming from the screens. And if you go down, so this is your response, 200 response. And if you go down, there are show advanced options. Here you can say a transaction control. You can have a new transaction. You can always continue in the current transaction. Let the flow decide. That is up to you. Okay, so this is our action created. Now what I want is whatever the data is coming from this API call, I want to display in a data table. So for that, first I need to transform it. Standard data table only supports object. So for that, we are going to use a new feature from the flow, which is called transform. So once you select the transform API, enter the label and API name. In the source, you need to select the source. So this is the source which we are using, which is the get account action. So this is what it is. And if you need to remember here what the values are. For example, here it is collection, and in the 200 we are getting a collection of account. So in the target, we are going to select record, allow multiple value, which is a collection, and we are going to create it. So now we have the collection. So now we will click on the billing country, and the billing country can be mapped to the billing country. Similarly, we will map the account ID to account ID. So once the mapping is done, so we'll move to the next section. Here we are going to put another screen which will show me all the details which are coming from the API. So in this screen, we are going to use a data table, and for the data table, in this data table, we are going to use the source from the transformation. Once that is done, our data table is ready. But you also need to configure column. So we are going to display the name field, industry, and the billing country. So now we have our data table ready. So we can save this, and we can also run this and check it. Okay, so while running, we got some error. Let's see what is the error is all about. Okay, so I made some mistakes. So in the Swagger, I have a base path, which is Apex REST. Then after that, I just have directly the account API path, which is but in my Apex class, I have entered here external services, which I've removed just now from both the sides. So this ext service is not required. Let's remove this. Otherwise, we need to correct the external services configuration again. You can put that value. It's just that in the API configuration, I didn't mention that. Let's go back. Now let's debug it again. Let's run this. Country USA. Entertainment limit is 5. So everywhere where this country is USA or industry entertainment, it will give me some value. So let's click on next, and you see here we are getting 3 records, and this is our transformed JSON on this side. Let's see how many records we have on the other org. So if I go to the other org and I select all accounts, so we have almost 4 accounts. The billing, this account is Canada, so that is why it didn't pop up. All the 3 other accounts we got it because they are from same country. So our API is working. Let's see the lead API as well. So for that, I will modify the flow a bit, and then we can test the lead API as well. So I have made some modification in our flow to test our lead API as well. So for that, what I've done is I've created a screen which will have a choice. You want to test the account API, which we already tested, or do you want to test the lead API? In the lead API, I created a form where you enter the first name, last name, and all the details which is required. And then I have also created a variable. So if you see the details of this variable, this is let me read. So it is a Apex defined type, and this is a external service MLD lead DTO. So make sure you select the correct variable. And once the variable is done, so I've done the assignment in the lead data, which is this one, all the values which are coming from the screen. After that, I'm sending the lead request. In the body, I'm sending the whole lead data. And then on the next screen, we are just displaying the output, which should be, let's say, ID as well as the status. So now let's run this again, save and run this again. The first choice is, do you want to test the lead API or the account API? We click on lead API next, need to fill form. Okay, I filled all the details. Let's click on next, see what happens. And we got a ID and the success message. If you see here, we get a JSON with the success and ID. Now let's check in on the other system. I think this is the lead. Now with this demo, we have established that we can test the GET API as well as POST API, and this is how it works. And this completes our external services demo. Perfect for low-code integration where OpenAPI specifications are clearly documented. Works best for synchronous APIs, request and response style, where for queries, lookups, or simple data transfer. For asynchronous API or heavy data transfer, consider using Apex or a middleware like MuleSoft. Always follow least privilege principle when defining auth scope in your name credentials. So that's external services in Salesforce, a powerful way to bring external API into flow and low-code automation. Please like and subscribe and leave a comment. Thanks for watching.